Hey folks, welcome to Guitar Daily. It's Nick Granville coming to you from Wellington, New Zealand. So today I thought I'd talk about the Nano Cortex. For anyone who knows me, you know that I've kind of been really interested in modelers for some time now. And the reason I got into that is I needed a solution for things, like to me a solution to a problem. The problem was not having the flexibility on a lot of gigs I do. I love playing amps, I love playing modelers, it's like they're different tools for different jobs. To be honest, I don't really care about the gear that much as long as it gets the job done. I love gear, don't get me wrong, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is me being able to play the music that I want to play in the way I want to play it. And so that meant investigating modelers. And so I went down the route of the fractal stuff. That was what made the most sense to me. As an all-in-one solution, I got a Fractal AX8 first, then an FM9, now an FM3. So I have an FM9 and an FM3 still. And I noticed there's some really good options out there now. I thought I'd discuss a couple of them and kind of my thoughts on it, particularly the Nano Cortex that just came out. I'm sort of wondering who this is for and like what's the point, right? To me, it looks to be a good unit. Like it's nice, it's small. From what I can take, it's about this big. I don't have one. I wish I had one here to try and show you. But by the look of it, that doesn't look like they're coming till late October to New Zealand. We're always behind the rest of the world. That's just how it is. Little Pacific island nation, about 5 million people, punches above its weight, but generally a small country. So we tend to be way behind all that kind of stuff. So they're saying late October, which probably means more likely November, in reality, or even December, or even January, as has happened before. So, but as soon as I can get my hands on one, I'm going to check it out and see what I think. Because I think this is kind of an interesting proposition. And I kind of wonder who it fits for. To be honest, the capturing thing is not the part that appeals to me. And to me, that's kind of probably its biggest selling point. I saw John Cordy do a video where he talked about, if you don't know John Cordy, you should go and check out his YouTube channel. Excellent YouTube channel that I really enjoy and watch a lot. But he was talking about the Nano Cortexes and that, like, its main feature is that capturing thing. To me, personally, I don't care if I capture it or if someone else models it. The main thing is that it sounds good, right? Period. The fact that I can put a microphone in front of one of my amps and then record it in and get my sound, so to speak, in the thing, that doesn't actually really matter to me much at all. Because, you know, that comes down to like what room I'm in, what type of microphone I have, where I place it, all those sorts of factors. Whereas the people that do modeling, like say Fractal, they go deep on this stuff, right? They go right in depth to try and get it as close as they can to the real thing. Me just sticking a mic in front of an amp and hoping for the best, is that the way to go? I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to see. To me, where it seems to be a pretty cool thing is it's like a sort of a pedal-sized solution for amp modeling for those that use pedal boards, right? So if you're a pedal board and an amp person, and you're kind of going to be hitting the road to do some gigs, and you're like, man, backline's looking a bit rough. Well, the Nano Cortex seems like that could be a good option. You put that at the end of your signal chain to replace the amp, and you can go direct when you need to. If you don't need to go direct, you just come out of, say, your reverb or your delay or whatever your last pedal is and just go into an amp. So now you've got two options. The other thing you could do is run a splitter. So you could run into the Nano Cortex and go to the front of house and then come out of the splitter and go to an amp. So you're monitoring via a real amp and then the audience is hearing the Nano Cortex. That could be a cool option too. So those are the kind of things. But the capturing part of it doesn't really, I'm not that fussed on it. So the other options that I would look at, you know, is the Boss IR2. That seems a pretty cool pedal. I'm actually been very tempted to pick one up for myself. And the reason is it's a normal Boss pedal size, right? It's about the size of a phone case, this sort of size. And the cool thing with those is that now you could it runs on battery, which is a big one, right? Because if you can run it on a battery, you can just use it as a backup, right? So I still use my Fractal stuff, the FM9, the FM3, depending on the gig. And then I just chuck one of those Boss IRs in my gig bag. Then I've got you get a clean tone and a dirty tone out of that. So if anything happened to the Fractal, say some roadie dropped a flight case on top of it, right, and smashed it or something, or did something dumb like that happened, and you're at the gig and you're out of town and you got no choice, right? You pull out the little Boss IR and you plug it in. Those things are bulletproof too, by the look of it. And that's kind of where I was thinking is, does the Nano Cortex kind of fit that role as a really good backup amp solution? You know, something for, say, when I'm away. And maybe it's a bit bigger than the Boss, but maybe it does. But one of the cool things with the Boss IR is its bulletproofness, but the Nano Cortex has reverb and delay, right? I don't really care about the other things that it has in it, like compression and whatever else. I mean, maybe I'd possibly use this, but probably not. To me, I just want a clean sound out of it with some reverb. And then that's essentially doing what the amp would do, and I could get through a gig with that, or maybe even a clean and an overdrive on two different things, And for me, that would give me like a rhythm sound that's clean and a lead tone that's dirty, and then maybe I'd turn down for the solos or whatever, but it would get me through a gig, and that's where I think the Nano Cortex could work really well. So I think who it fits, I think it really fits for people who run a pedal board and an amp and want a second solution for going direct when they need to. Chuck that on the ND signal chain and you're good to go. I think it could be a decent backup, or maybe the Boss IR2, one of those two, these small pedal amp modeler type things and cabinets that you can again go direct it and have it as a backup, because you have to have backup, especially if you do what I do. I do pro gigs. I play with orchestras, I do theatre shows, I tour, I do a lot of session work. Session work's a different thing, because most of it is in my own studio now, where I am right now. Nowadays, occasionally go out to studios, but most of the time it's like people send files now. It's just how it is. But, playing with orchestras, I fun there, and I can't, I've got to have backup, right? If something goes wrong, I can't be letting the gear stopping me doing the job. So I always take a spare guitar, not just strings. I always take a spare guitar, unless I'm out of town and you're flying and you can only bring one guitar, then it's a little bit scary. But I always bring spare strings, picks, leads, all that kind of stuff. Usually 2 guitars, because I don't want to slow things down having to change a string. All that kind of stuff, and then backup of gear, right? So say an FM3 and an IR2 might be a really good, or a Nano Cortex might be a really good solution for a small portable rig that has backup into it. Yeah, anyway, that's just my kind of thoughts on it. So maybe you're into the capturing thing. Let me know in the comments below if you think the capturing part of it is worth it. Maybe it is to you. If you think like the fractal stuff's a better way to go, that might let me know. Do people still use Kempers? I guess they do. The Kemper player seems like a thing. Kind of odd that Kemper are now charging for updates. But anyway, let me know if you're using Kempers. I know Kempers were hugely popular when I was in the UK. A lot of the theatre shows, people were using Kempers and that sort of stuff. So I didn't particularly like the Kempers. The times I've played through them, I've just been completely unimpressed. And that may be that I just haven't done my own modelling in it. I don't know. But again, yeah. Anyway, I'll play you out with some more stuff, so thanks so much for watching.